Marvel's Spider-Man features no fewer than 28 costumes, most of which are based directly on iconic Spider-Man comics and movies from the last 5 decades. Let's take a look at where each costume comes from, but be warned, we're swinging into spoiler territory. The advanced costume is Spidey's default suit for the majority of the game, and one of the only costumes created by Insomniac's artists specifically for the game. The legendary classic suit was designed by Marvel icon Steve Ditko way back in 1962. It's a look that's changed remarkably little over the years. This is the classic suit, but, you know, battle damaged. Thanks to the futuristic technology of his era, the Spider-Man 2099 suit has all sorts of added benefits, including being constructed of near indestructible unstable molecules and an airfoil cloak that allows him to glide. When Spider-Man 2099 got stuck in the present-day Marvel universe, Peter Parker stepped up to provide him with a new suit featuring the most advanced technology 2015 had to offer. If you finish the game, you know the climax introduces the Anti-Ock armor, a suit specially designed to counter Otto's new toys. This is another costume created specifically by Insomniac's artists for the game. In the 2010 storyline called Big Time, Peter's access to new resources allow him to design this stealth suit. The ability to turn invisible proved to be a valuable addition to Spidey's already impressive arsenal. The dark suit debuted during a particularly nasty chapter in Spider-Man's career. In this story, Deadpool kills Peter and he must retrieve his soul from the afterlife. So yeah, dark seems fitting. The heavy padding of the electrically insulated suit provides much-needed protection against Electro, but Peter has had to steadily improve upon the original design in order to keep up over the years. This costume was created specifically for the game and isn't based on a specific comic book storyline, but who needs a fancy costume to be a superhero when Spidey does it in jeans and a t-shirt? The Fear Itself suit was designed from the same enchanted metal that makes up Thor's hammer. Its primary weapon is a pair of blade-firing wrist gauntlets. Unfortunately, Spidey only got to use his new suit once before Odin had it destroyed. In many incarnations of the Spider-Man saga, Peter designs a homespun costume before developing the classic suit we know and love. This particular costume is modeled after the one seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Iron Spider is a Tony Stark designed suit and is far more durable than Spidey's usual attire. It features an updated color scheme that reflects Tony Stark's love of red and gold and retractable arms, just like Doc Ock. The Last Stand suit is a more rugged and utilitarian take on the classic Spider-Man design, which makes sense given that this version of Spidey is much older and more pessimistic. When his spider sense temporarily shorted out, Peter was forced to design the Spider Armor MK2 to compensate for his diminished reflexes. He also developed a new form of martial arts called Spider Fu. The Spider Armor MK3 was designed to counteract the abilities of each member of the Sinister Six. It became a critical tool during a 2012 storyline called Ends of the Earth. The Spider Armor MK4 is made of liquid metal nanotechnology. With an advanced HUD and access to drones and other high-tech gadgets, Spider-Man's reach extended farther than ever. Spider-Man found himself traveling to the negative zone in order to save a group of stranded New Yorkers. In the process, his costume transformed from its usual red and blue color scheme to a distorted black and white look. Earth 90214 gave the Marvel Universe a dark, pulpy makeover. Accordingly, this Spider-Man gets rid of brightly colored spandex in favor of a rugged gray suit. The Spidey sort of reminds us of a certain Caped Crusader. The Scarlet Spider is actually Ben Reilly, a clone of Peter Parker created by the Jackal. This costume reflects Ben's status as a lonely, wandering hero with few resources. In Secret War, Nick Fury recruited a group of heroes to travel to Latveria and attempt to overthrow its new ruler, Lucia von Bardas. Secret missions like that require clothing to match, so Spider-Man was given a stealthy new costume. Way over on Earth 138, Spider-Punk briefly served as one of the Web Warriors, a team of spider heroes tasked with defending the Marvel multiverse. He's a revolutionary, but mostly he shreds hard. Earth 11638 Spider-Man is a version of Peter Parker who didn't quite learn the lesson about power and responsibility. It was only after his death that he was given a second chance to be a true hero, becoming an avenging spirit and rising from the grave. The MCU broke with Spider-Man movie tradition by having Tony Stark be the designer of Peter Parker's regular Spider-Man suit. While modeled closely after the classic costume, this suit features a few added black elements and a wealth of new gadgets. Haha, look at this guy. He's in underpants, just swinging around the city. Put some pants on, Spidey. You look ridiculous. This slick-looking armor is another of the major suits designed specifically for the Insomniac game. As the name suggests, this suit boosts Spidey's speed and allows him to use his momentum as a weapon. Technically, this comics-inspired costume is the same as the classic suit, albeit with a much different sense of style. The cel-shaded approach to this costume aims to replicate the feel of old-school Spider-Man comics and the work of seminal artists like Steve Ditko and John Romita Sr. Plus, it looks f***ing awesome! In many versions of the Spider-Man mythos, Peter Parker has a short-lived career as a professional wrestler before the murder of Uncle Ben overturns his world. The wrestler costume in the game is specifically modeled after the one in Ultimate Spider-Man. Whew, that's a lot of Spider-Man. Or is it Spider-Men? Anyway, we have much more of the wall crawler for you here on IGN. For more on the characters that appear and are hinted at in the game, check out our growing list of Easter eggs in Spider-Man on PS4, and of course, check out our review of the full game.